He's caring, he's funny, he's stylish and brave. He sounds wonderful, so does yours. And Marie, tell us about your boyfriend. She doesn't have one. I'm so sorry. This is where they're both wrong. I like my life, I like my cat, I like my TV, John is overpriced. I like my life, I like my cat, I like my TV, I can make myself happy. He's handsome, he's gentle, he's rich, he's brave, he's caring, he's funny, he's stylish, he's brilliant. I like my life, he's handsome, I like my cat, he's gentle, I like my TV, John is overpriced. I like my life, I like my cat, I like my TV, I can make myself happy. He's handsome, he's caring, he's gentle, he's I like my life, I like my cat, I like my TV, John is overpriced. I like his life, I like my gentle, I like my TV, I'm so free. I like my life, I like my gentle, I like my TV. Let's go with orange nails. I'm feeling bold. He's taking me to a new restaurant. It's called Johnny's. That's funny. You must get the steak. My boyfriend's a vegetarian. So is mine. Mine is a barrister. Mine's a solicitor. Wait, I think he said solicitor, but I'm not sure. Please, try not to kick. He's just texted. Miss you. Lunch was great. Love, Arthur. His name is Arthur. It can't be the same man. We are exclusive. He's just sent me a text. Looking forward to dinner. Love, Arthur. With a nice photo. Oh my God. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! Is this some kind of joke? Why? Are you showing me a picture? A picture of my boyfriend? Of your boyfriend? How dare you? I can tell you were jealous from the moment Marie that you waited. That's what you're getting at. I can tell you were jealous from the moment Marie that you're in here. It's pathetic at your age. I don't know where you found this picture. On the internet, no doubt. You finished school. You look a content of fantasy. Alone, my life. I like my cat and my TV. Pathetic at your age. You sit at home and fantasize. Alone with your silly friends. You're terrified of going out. I'm the one saying of the world. I'm gonna be yours of my life. You bitch! saying she knows you, that she's your girlfriend. She's very young and badly dressed. Her name is Zoe. What? He's been dating us both. He says he's sorry. But he's pleading with me not to tell his wife. You're a bastard! I hope they all leave you! I feel faint. I'm sorry for what I said. I was aggressive. I was rude. I still have this reservation at Johnny's. Would you like to join me? Absolutely. And Marie, will you come too? Oh, thank you. I have to clean up. It's getting dark earlier these days. The sky outside my salon window sinking into purple. It's getting dark earlier these days. And soon I will go home, snuggle on the sofa with my cat. It's a good life. It's a good life. It's a good life. The sky outside
which we usually do before we let you all in, but everyone forgot, so apologies for that. And we do it because we will post this discussion on our website afterwards. Anyway, to recap, for those of you who've just joined us, my name is Bill Banks-Jones, Artistic Director of Tete-a-Tete, white man in my early 60s, too many chins, baseball cap glasses against a background of Tete-a-Tete, the Opera Festival marketing image, pronouns he, him. And I would love to invite Sophie Patterson and Adam Zolty to join us. So if you could unmute and make yourselves visible. That's lovely. For the rest of you, you are really, really welcome to ask questions, make comments, lavish our panel with praise. And please do so by using the chat function, which is at the bottom of the screen where it says chat and there's a little speech bubble. And with any luck, some kind of little message might appear. Anyway, it is really lovely to revisit that, Adam. It's such a sweet, gentle piece. Can you tell us a bit, because it came from you, where did it come from?
So yeah, the manicurist. It was such a fun project to put together. It was really a pleasure to work with with the creative team on this. Yeah, this came about through. It was a project that was initially initiated through the Royal Academy of Music. Composers were paired with librettists, and the idea for the manicurist was a piece began with my first meeting with my librettist and getting to know one another. My librettist is Philippa Lawford. She's a wonderful playwright and play director who works in London. And yeah, it was a pleasure to work with her. Yeah, she through our discussions, I told her that I was looking to do something just very fun and comedic with farce and confusion. And so she pitched to me three synopses, and I got to choose which one I liked. And the manicurist was on the top of my list. I really liked it. And yeah, we went through with it. She gave me the libretto, and yeah, it was just fun composing the whole
Oh,
way
it's
through.
such a breath of fresh air. I was thinking as it ended how unusual it is that everybody's gone and there's a little bit of music still hovering in the air, and we want it to carry on because usually you get to the end of a piece and you go, when am I going to get out of here and when's it going to finish? It's a real tribute to you. The little world you created is so full of, I mean, underneath all the bitching and kind of fighting and bit slapping and things, there's such a warmth there. Maybe it's just you. I don't know. Maybe that's where it comes from. I don't know if you can tease that out for us, or Sophie, maybe you as an outside eye can tell us. What did you witness in the stage managing of all this?
I really love this piece, especially because I'm American and like I love musical theater, and there's some elements in it. There's a patter song. And getting to see all of the actors work together to make this come to life. It was just really beautiful. There's just something about this piece. Also, Adam, like I know Adam from like it's been like a year and a half that I've known Adam now, and he's just a really sweet, genuine person. And I think that his music is also the same way, where it's just very, it warms your heart even when people are being mean to each other. You're just like this. Something about this is familiar. And I think that that's a real talent that not everyone has. I feel very Sondheimy when I was like when I first started watching it. I was like, this is very Sondheim, but like new Sondheim, opera Sondheim. That never happened. So yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
it's
Coming to it was just enjoyable, and I could there was, but every single opera of this series, the Rendezvous with Revenge, like there's stuff that I could hum, and I came away humming, and I hope that more contemporary opera will continue to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think there's a definite tendency towards that, which is actually coming. I mean, where are you from, Adam? You're a bit more complicated than just the States, aren't you?
Yes, I was born and raised in Vancouver, British Columbia. And just this past 3 years, my family and I decided to move to Finland. So we now live permanently in Finland. And I'm, of course, in the UK studying for my master's in music composition.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting because what's definitely happened for quite a long time now is a lot of new operas coming out of the United States. Well, in fact, they're dominating the market. I mean, there was a decade where every new opera, English national opera, was American. And all of them are a bit easier to listen to. There's something about Europe that is still trying to be iconoclastic, and you can't really spend a century attacking icons and clasming them and still carry on being interesting and original. And I think the States definitely does have a movement towards something that is a little bit easier on the ear and therefore a little bit more popular and enjoyable for audiences. A question I've got, which is a really zooming in question, I'm slightly nervous about it because having watched the piece 4 times and got to this moment, I can't remember what the man's name is. He's called Roger, is that right?
Arthur or
Arthur, I
Arthur?
knew I got it wrong. But it's the kind of terrible, embarrassing giveaway there. Anyway, Arthur. The one question I had at the end was why didn't he come and collect his wife, the manicurist? There's like one more twist that didn't happen, or did it?
Well, that's for the second sequel of
Oh, is
this.
it? I wonder whether that would just be a little bit too unkind for something that so like. I mean, it was gently delivered, but it was pretty harsh within it. That I
Yes.
would like to be one of those women. Um,
Yeah.
of course, that begs the question we always want to ask, which is there going to be more?
Mm. This is I'm definitely very interested in pursuing the comedy avenue in musical theater. I think that and opera to because I think uh, it's a path that can be explored more creatively uh, and so yeah, I think it's just a wonderful creative world to be in, to write for, because it's actually just it's happy subject matter, and you're always working with the happy subject matter in the creation process. So it's yeah, it's a joy to work on these sorts of things. Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting way of thinking. I mean, I don't know, personally, I'm not a great one for saying this one's a comedy and that one's a tragedy because it's not great for the two women who were Arthur's lovers. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
really say they came out of it better than when it started.
Mhm.
You know, it's an interesting and controversial aspect. So, are you going to carry on the story with any of the same characters? Are we going to see a whole new world? What's going to happen?
Um, well, I think what I mean by like continuing in this avenue is working with even more different kinds of storylines. I think the idea of the manicurist is uh, was just very well kind of contained, and I think yeah, it just exists as its own kind of entity. I think it does the job in that way, but definitely uh, 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 more operas like this that will um, that will have uh, lots of uh, uh, comedy and uh, craziness that happens that
Well,
proceeds.
we all want to see them, so you must get on with.
Mhm. Yes.
Have you got one in the pipeline yet, or are you still in the throes of getting over this?
Well, I am in close contact the librettist who with Philippa Lawford, and so yeah, we are busy focusing on creating new material, and yeah, I have a Masters of Music project that's going to be coming up later in the next year. And so I think we'll use that as kind of like a nice little launching point for a new project. And yeah, I'll be happy to share that with all of you once that comes to fruition.
Oh, that's really exciting. A reminder to our audience that comments or questions are really, really welcome in the chat. We've got a few more minutes left before we have to wind up. If in the absence of those, I'd quite like to understand a little bit more. I mean, you've told us you met a playwright and they're a librettist and they're part of this course, but is there more behind that? Were you offered a menu of librettists, or is this something you went out in the world and found out on your own, the three of you in this triple bill? What were the mechanics of that?
There was I was just actually interested in seeing what fate kind of brings to me. So I was I received introductions. We were all in the same room for this triple bill. Sarah Mars is another composer who had her piece done, and Yanni To is also another composer who was in the group. Yeah, I think I just wanted to it was kind of I didn't choose. I didn't want to choose because I thought I didn't have any preferences. So I think my professors.
I'm trying to ask you a simpler question that
Okay.
you're attempting to answer, Adam, which is, so you're saying the three of you had to choose librettists. You went out into the world and looked anyway. Is that how it worked, or was it more narrow than that?
It was more narrow than that.
What narrowed it?
It was part of an academy course where librettists were also part of the same cohort.
I see. They were students as well.
They were students as well. They were taken from the I think one of the neighboring universities.
I see.
For writing.
It's not there was a course in libretto writing, but they were doing a writing course, and this was a mod. Oh, I see. It's a really, really interesting question, because when Tete-a-Tete started and new operas were much thinner on the ground, there weren't any librettists. There really weren't, and you really had to look, and you really had to talk people into doing it. Nobody would say, I want to write libretto. So we were looking at novelists and television writers and playwrights and poets and writers and anybody you could think of. And so it is really interesting to know that it's becoming, I mean, of course, you've just said it wasn't a course in libretto writing, but it was an option within a course. That's something that's good to know. For you budding librettists out there, or people who haven't even thought you might be a budding librettist, there is an option. And it worked really well, because you're saying you'd like to work together again, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. It was a very natural. I'm very thankful for the experience and everybody who came in on the project, and Sophie Patterson has just done a fantastic job organizing the show, and it's just been a pleasure to do.
Well, I was going to say, Sophie, what does it make you want to do next?
Well, I have quite the varied background as a singer, director, stage manager, playwright, photographer. I don't know. It depends on the week. I would like to take all of those skill sets and my understanding of lighting as well now, and sound, and eventually create my own collective. to do my own thing for opera, because I think that like it's really important. Like what Tete is doing is wonderful, and but instead of doing a festival, I'd like to have a company that does site specific works. So that's what I want to do eventually, but I'm gonna go back to singing now because I was very jealous of everyone getting to sing these wonderful pieces, and I would like to do some of that. And I already told Adam and Sarah, so, and Yenny, everyone has been told that I would like to sing their stuff as well as help them in the future. But I would also be interested in doing more like stage management on the side, because I really think that it needs it. Like these smaller works, even though they're happening with not much, set or staging. Well, there's lots of staging, but not much set. Like, I think it's important to have a stage manager there to take the pressure off of the artist. And I'm happy to be an artist, but also to help take the pressure off of my friends in their works. So
I mean, it's a lot of work we do for people. I mean, Tete is a company that produces shows. The festival is just a side effect. It's a kind of, well, we got this far, we better share it with other people. But it is a massive amount of what we do within the festival is to try and do exactly what you've just said and take a bit of the pressure off, try and take care of some of the boring bits so that the artist can focus on the things you really want to do. But it's also been, I mean, you were in a conversation earlier, Sophie, emerging more and more and more through the watch parties this year, how just colossal and intricate it is to put on an opera of any scale. It doesn't even matter. It's got one person in it. There's still a whole lot of stuff going on in umpteen dimensions. And that's both the challenge, but also the joy. It gives you such a multi-layered thing. I think, I don't know, I rather think you've written an opera, not a musical there, Adam, and somehow that's the reason. I mean, in one way, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's, something's good or it's not, or it's, it's fun or it's not, or it's engaging or it's not, and it doesn't really matter what the genre is, but everyone does have to sell their work. I don't know, as a final thought, where do you feel you really sit? Where would you like to really belong? Musical, opera, new dimension yet to be discovered?
Um, I think, yeah, I like to, I like to generally just keep my options open, and when it's very much a project to project sort of thought. There's the subject matter of the libretto can point towards different directions and creative directions, and composers have to be very receptive to that, and the best way to direct focus. Yeah, I think it's and I'm very much that type of composer, just letting the material kind of show the direction that it needs to go in, and yeah, I just go along with the ride.
Well, it's lovely to hear. Well, the joyous hand of the clock has just hit our expiry time, so we'll have to say goodbye now. But it's lovely to end on an optimistic and very open-minded note. Here is Adam for all of you who want to commission him, and to so if he can do anything you want, the sound of it. Thank you very much for a great piece, and hope we'll see you back again soon. Well done.
Thank you. And thank you so much to Tete Opera Festival, and to Bill Banks and Anna Gregg. You've done an amazing job, and thank you, Sophie, for coming here.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.